All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick's Strength and Power. So I was scrolling through my Instagram messages today, and one of you guys actually had a pretty interesting message for me. So this guy sent me a screenshot of him commenting on Steve Laureus, aka Mr. Propa, the classic physique competitor's Instagram, and he asked him if he was doing the Olympia, and Steve replied and said no. So I think this is actually an interesting development here because I think a lot of people were anticipating Steve Laureus' Olympia debut. A lot of people, including the people over at Redcon, are kind of toting him as being the next Mr. Olympia, a future Mr. Olympia, and a game changer for the classic physique division. So it's kind of interesting to see him saying he's not doing the Olympia, because even though I was critical of him after his New York Pro appearance, where he, for some reason, I'll never understand why, but he did the 212 division in New York, and he looked less than impressive, to say the least. But I think as a classic physique competitor, from a structure standpoint, this guy absolutely does have the perfect structure for classic physique. And he is certainly a guy, in my mind, that has the potential to be a top 6 guy easily at the Mr. Olympia if the conditioning is there, if he's not flat, and if he comes in at 100%, or even if he came in at 90 to 95%. This guy has everything it takes to be a top Olympia competitor in classic physique. I mean, he's got the crazy size to his legs, the insanely small waist, and that leg size with that waist size alone, I mean, that tremendously enhances his V-taper effect. To have those broad shoulders, the wide lats, going down into the small waist, and then flaring back out with the big legs. I mean, that is the ideal classic physique effect. I mean, that's exactly what it's all about. Is number one, we say this time and time again, but bodybuilding, classic physique, whatever, it's 99% the illusion that your body creates with the shape of each body part, the proportion of each body part, and that relies heavily on having a small waist. And that small waist, that ability to pull off the vacuum pose, I think that's one of the biggest advantages that Steve Laureus has going into the classic physique division. So again, I was critical on him during the Pittsburgh Pro appearance. I felt like there was a lot of hype about Steve Laureus going into Pittsburgh, and I felt like he could have done a lot better than he did. So I still think he looked good. I still think he's a great classic physique competitor. I just expected better from him based on the pictures and videos that we had seen on social media. And it turns out that is often the case. You see a guy looking incredible in social media pictures during their prep leading up to a show. Then the show comes around and you're like, man, what happened to this guy? And that's kind of how I felt with Steve Laureus. I just expected more. And I think the bar was set much higher for him because of the way people had been presenting him on social media. So that's really all it was. And then him going to New York, and I said this after he went to New York, I think that set him back tremendously in terms of the momentum that he had after winning that Pittsburgh Pro. I think a lot of people, even though he didn't look his best in Pittsburgh, I think a lot of people were still very impressed by him. He was seen by the IFBB judges for the first time ever. He was seen by the IFBB fans for the first time ever. I think he still left a very good impression on those fans with the shape and the structure of his physique, and he impressed a lot of people. So I still think that win gave him tremendous momentum going into the Mr. Olympia. So I'm wondering if that appearance at the New York Pro, being as bad as it was, him looking as, I hate to say it, but as bad as he did, I wonder if that discouraged him from competing in the Mr. Olympia. I wonder if he thought, I did horrible. I don't really want to compete in a couple of months. The Olympia is only 3 months away now. I want to take more time off and really improve upon my physique. So I'm wondering if that was the case, that the New York Pro really set him back that much. And if he had not done the New York Pro, maybe he would still be doing the Mr. Olympia. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about Steve Laureus deciding not to do the Mr. Olympia. Thank you guys for watching the video, and please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Nick's Strength and Power, signing out.